All right, and welcome back, everybody, to yet another match here tonight for 5USC 2025. We are in the round of 16. This is going to be a winner's bracket match between Seed 2 Stateless A versus Seed 10 Illinois A. My name is It's Pigeon. Today I'm joined by Valine. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. I just been cleaning partially some of the an old fridge that my parents' friend gave us so we can replace our fridge. Man, not cleaning that is disgusting as shit. But for now, I get to commentate an interesting match. We seen last week that Stateless went to tiebreaker against seed 15 of Utah A. So now, even though the SR of the pool is higher, can Illinois' consistency keep up to match Stateless? And is Stateless gonna step it up to match their seeding?
Yeah, a little bit of a rough start in this tournament here for Stateless. Illinois looked pretty good last week, and they are with a newer roster. I think some of the same players from previous years, but going to be missing. I can at least name Marvin Fraggs off the top of my head as one of their players who ended up going over towards Indiana. Um, but they have Lechuga 420, who I have been told, Valine, this is someone who is on the up and coming, someone on the rise in the tournament scene. Expect to see big things from this player. I am very excited.
And we're already actually into a map that I don't know whose pick this is. This is Nomad 4. So we'll see whose pick this is sooner or later. Right now, there's no one for it. It's just like some gimmicky text slider aim that we should expect. We don't know the bans yet, so we'll await that shortly. We'll have to ask the ref. We'll ping the ref. Who's the ref, Sky?
Oh yeah, we are just into this match. Interesting. Well, that kind of throws me off because I wasn't fully prepared for that, but that's okay because these things happen. And yeah, it's gonna be no mod 4, as he said, and this one's all about the slider aim. This is heavy tech, and so far all the players are looking pretty solid on it, but accuracy is going to be favoring Illinois for the time being, giving them a pretty hefty 60,000 score lead.
Yeah, I'm currently right now asking Saz what are the bans at the moment. But right now, we're already seeing a break from Chibia, LeBrook, and James, so already looking good so far for Illinois with those 3 FCs. If this was a pick from Stateless, it would have been pretty interesting, but so far, we don't know yet.
I mean, this is kind of map that you can find random misses all throughout, as we do finally see the first drop on the side of Illinois. Flamenco going to be falling, does trade out that earlier miss from 7 Chibi, so that is going to put a bit of a damper on the score lead that Illinois has climbed up here, but Lily dropping their combo is not going to be helping Stateless whatsoever. It's only one FC remaining on the side of Stateless versus the 2 for Illinois, and there's only a third of the map left, so they're going to have to see some major misses here for Illinois if Stateless wants a way back in.
And also a surprising axe struggle coming from Lily and Venipov. This team, the second seed, you would expect for like this team to be really good on almost everything actually. But right now, they might seem to be struggling with the gimmicky side of tech, unlike the Amy side of tech that was presented last week. Right now, so far so good for Idiot Stick and Lechuga, still FCing with their scores, including Venipov. But that Venipov act is not helping them whatsoever with that score difference, and I think it's already over.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a very easy point here to start us off on Illinois' pick. This was Illinois' pick. Um, Looks like the bans were as follows. Illinois bans out Easy 1, then it's ABBA, so double ban from Stateless is DT1 and Nomad 2. And then the final ban for Illinois was Free Mod 2. So yeah, this was a pick from Illinois, and they looked really solid on it. It was almost a three-way FC.
Yeah, indeed. And that also the Everett Act is going well for Illinois as well. Good confidence boost for their own pick, seeing that Stateless is struggling really hard with the tech. But not right now, Stateless. I'm not sure what they'll pick next. I'm gonna have to look at the stats. But maybe they can't pick into the Hard Rock. But Illinois Hard Rock isn't to scoff at either.
Yeah, Illinois is one of these teams that, despite being in the seed 10 this year, they still have such an impressive roster, able to play pretty much anything that they have thrown at them. They did get rid of the reading maps in this pool, at least in the easy and the free mod 2. This week's free mod 2 is kind of a light anti-mod. It's only air 9s and so that's I think just down to comfortability, but there's still options like the hidden 2 available for Stateless to go into, but we are going to be seeing them go a different direction here with uh, I didn't actually see the pick, unfortunately.
It
I
looks
was
to
too busy
be a
yapping.
DT2 pick from what the map is showing us, and also from the previous overlay of the stream, it's displaying the bands are displaying the wrong maps. It's actually displaying last week's pool, so we'll get that fixed maybe shortly. But right now,
Oh, yeah,
Stateless
absolutely.
got to
Wait.
pick DT2.
No, you're so right. Oh goodness. We're so scuffed today, but that's okay. We just roll with it.
Yeah, so DT2 getting picked. The tapping actually pretty awkward aim as well. There's are some aim can be thrown off here if you're getting stamina gapped on these bursts.
Yeah, gonna be important to keep your accuracy in check on a map like this, and starts off very calm, so it's not gonna be too many issues, but actually I already see 3 players dropping as we go right into the first burst of the map. Candy Sour gonna be trading with Venom Puffs and Lily, so that's gonna help out Illinois for the time being, just off this early misses from Stateless.
Yeah, and also there's go Lechuga as well. Trey actually getting that another miss, so it's just gonna be still kind of Illinois' favorite. Flamenco still FCing, but yeah, your finger control stamina could get affected, so you will miss on some of these aims if you aren't focused enough. And there we go. There goes Flamenco is missing, not even finishing that burst.
Yeah, and still the score lead isn't heavily shifting towards Stateless because you have these earlier misses from both Venom Puffs and Lily. As we finally see it flip over, it's just going to be Bomb Flow on the final remaining FC, and the map's already halfway over, so this is looking pretty good for Stateless if they're able to hold on to these combos. For the time being, there's nobody really contesting any of the combos, so long as they keep holding, this score lead is going to keep climbing for Stateless.
Yeah, but right now this map does not let up in terms of its burst to aim part. I mean, so far so good for Stateless. No misses at the moment. You just have to hope. But there goes Bonflo actually with that big combo. So now this is the chance for Illinois to bring it back with this 50, 60k score difference.
You're definitely going to be able to bring this one back, especially now with Lily breaking combo as well on that recovery. So now it's just Venom Puffs. Flamenco will drop, but that score lead's already shifted over towards Illinois. So that is going to be 2 major recoveries here for Illinois versus the one on Stateless. Then, yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a quick breakpoint as down goes Venom Puffs, the final remaining recovery combo for Stateless. And yeah, there's just no time left in the map. This is going to be a breakpoint for Illinois.
Already a breakpoint, already an interesting pick, and maybe even a weird one coming from Stateless. It might have been better to just not really pick on this tapping when Illinois does have a tapping team of their own. And right now, that ACK average is not really looking good for Stateless compared to Illinois. Illinois looking more comfortable than ever. And now they have the opportunity to just go 3 points ahead.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking a little bit rough for Stateless. Of course, this is always comebackable. Breakpoints have been common in this tournament so far. I do think, though, that Illinois going up 2-0 very quickly like this is a little bit concerning for Stateless. I think if they're able to consolidate on this breakpoint too with their next pick, then it's going to be a very big issue here.
Yeah, it seems like the overlay is not really cooperating with us, so we will have to wait for the map to show up to see what the Illinois will be picking next. At the moment, though, I don't think they will pick into the hiddens. Both of these teams' hiddens are really strong, so it's going to be very gambly to pick into the hiddens. They might opt in to maybe pick... honestly, I don't know. It's pretty hard to contest like a higher seed.
I'm thinking something like DT2 potentially, just based on how that DT3 just looked.
No, that was
Or,
the DT2.
excuse me, DT3 based on how that DT2
Yeah.
just looked. My brain.
All good, all good.
Braining. and it is gonna be
This seems to
hidden
be a hidden
two.
two, yeah.
Yeah, so are gonna be going with the hidden two, despite knowing that Stateless is also probably pretty practiced and going to be comfortable on this map. But I do like this pick from Illinois because eventually this one was gonna have to come from one of these two teams. It's just Illinois biting the bullet.
Yeah, Illinois probably relying on their own consistency. They've seen the consistency of Stateless, not really displaying the consistency they want to show off to the viewers here, because as they're down 0-2. But this map is, you can throw people off guard. You can kind of miss on air, but uh, the awkward angle aim and that can throw people off guard.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one. It's this week's low AR hidden, and yeah, as you said, it's got some wide angle stuff going on that makes it pretty uncomfortable. It's not necessarily going to be super reading heavy. I think it mostly just comes down to the aim. For these teams, I don't think they're going to be struggling with the fact that it's AR8, but rather it's just the aim difficulty in it, right? The wide angles, the big spacing on some of the patterns, and yeah, are seeing players finally settling down here for these two teams. It looks like we're going to have Lily, Bonflow, and Lexic for Stateless, Idiot Stick, Flamenco, and David the First, or DVD the First, excuse me, for Illinois. So a couple of new faces here.
DVD the First being their main hidden player for Illinois, including Idiot Stick as well. So this one you would really do, as I mentioned before, rely on that consistency. If you can read it, you can aim it. But again, with nerves, you can get tunnel vision. So even if you can read it, you can also miss it unexpectedly.
Yep, but here we go. Map number 3. We are on the hidden 2 this week. And if Illinois is able to consolidate on this, it's going to be a very rough spot for Stateless. Going down 3-0 at the start of the match is usually not ideal, and already seeing some struggles here in terms of both accuracy and aim with the lower AR on the hidden from Bombflow on the side of Stateless. So that is going to give Illinois a very early score lead, despite this being a longer map.
Yeah, we can kind of forgive Bonzo for that. You know, he might have maybe misaimed that streamy part, but he also did miss a lot in the beginning, especially Lexic, a little bit of a misread in the beginning as well, right at the beginning actually. But Idiot Stick and Flamenco trading it off right early, but still doesn't really matter too much as it's still pretty early into the map.
Yeah, it shouldn't make too big of a difference, but this is going to be a good score lead here for Stateless that they're going to be able to get for themselves now with the recovery from Bombflow, who looks a lot more comfortable after the beginning of the map. But this is where some of these jumps patterns would start getting more wide angled, so we could see some breaks coming through from any of these combos, but 55,000 points in climbing is going to be the difference here for Stateless, and it's looking a lot better than the first few maps, especially with a miss from Idiot Stick that doesn't go traded.
Yeah, but right now, the hard patterns of this map hasn't appeared so far. Here's one of the hard patterns. Actually, they all hit it. Lily, Buffalo, and Lexic, they all hit it. So really good start for Stateless in this first half. Idiot Stick not really holding onto their combo enough for them to really capitalize off of Illinois' own pick.
It's not quite going their own way. There's still half of the map remaining for them to get this score lead back, and 200,000 is going to be a lot, but now there's misses all players except for Lexic and DVD the First, so these are going to be the two remaining combos that you have to keep your eye on. If either of these two players end up dropping, then that score will shift very heavily towards the other team, so it's going to be really important that these recoveries also build up, especially for Illinois, because I don't think DVD the First could do it alone, even if there's misses from the other FC on Stateless.
Yeah, and for Illinois to really capitalize off of this pick, their own pick, you would need a Lexic miss as well. And if Flamenco it just held through that middle part where they broke, they would have actually helped out that score difference to lessen DVD the First's pressure at the moment. But right now, Lexic is just not letting up, and there it is. There's DVD the First missing, and this point is already in Stateless' hands.
Yeah, it's going to be a very easy break point back from Stateless here. Looking a lot more comfortable and confident here. Look at the accuracies too for Stateless. Yes, you have the one outlier on Bombflow. We don't care about that one. We're looking at Lexic here, who does not unfortunately get the full combo, but still going to be impressive. 99.4% accuracy, 97.8 here for Lily to close this map out, and yeah, this is a very definitive point for Stateless. I think one of the biggest score gaps that we've seen so far in this match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, kind of interesting that Illinois. I mean, they are. I mean, I believe they chose this because they are confident, but also like they should know that Stateless is pretty good on the hidden two, and especially when they banned the easy one and Fremont two. Even though that Fremont two is pretty easy for this pool, but yeah, Lex 6 showing off their own consistency, including Lily with that big supporting score, and now Stateless they have the opportunity to tie it up.
Yeah, they do have the opportunity to tie this up. Chance that Illinois just had to get the consolidation on the break point. And if Stateless is able to get this one consolidated, that will be big news for them because that will kind of put a complete momentum stop to Illinois from starting to run away with this. They had to get this break point. I feel like they had to. They obviously could have lost this and it still would have been tough and they could have caught it back, but getting this break point now means that they don't have to get the break point back later.
Yeah, and I'm sure Stateless won't pick into the DPs again after what they saw from the DP2 that Illinois breakpointed them from. So I think they would maybe lean towards maybe another hidden, but also especially for Hard Rock. But that Hard Rock is also pretty questionable, as well as Illinois has displayed some good Hard Rock prowess against Oregon last week, and getting Oregon down to the losers bracket because of it.
Yeah, I do have to agree. I do think they're gonna lean more into the Hard Rocks or the Nomads potentially for their next few picks. They have good options actually in terms of Hard Rocks, but no, it's gonna
Hidden
be
three.
the hidden three here, Glitter. I
Yeah,
believe
this
is-
one. Ooh,
Yeah,
this
I
one.
think we got a AR edit, if I'm not mistaken.
It's I think
Or a
no, I
CS
think it's
edit?
like
We
a
got
CS,
some edit for
yeah,
this.
CS5, but also this map, this map, it has one pattern that determines the match, maybe even the match, the map of this match. One pattern determines the score of what you get, and it's right at the beginning of this map. And if anyone can hit it, I'll be very impressed. Because I don't know we've seen an FC on this map so far, solely because of that one pattern.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see somebody be the first to do it. Of course, there haven't been too many matches played yet thus far this weekend, so plenty more chances if we don't see it here. But I mean, yeah, Stateless is looking to make people remember that they are seed number 2. They got it there for a reason, so if they're going to be doing another point on the board, I would love to see it be in just as dominant of a fashion as we just saw on the previous map.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing like they saw the hidden two performance from Illinois, then I guess they'll pick the hidden three. Maybe thinking that Illinois' consistency on hidden isn't as great as they actually initially thought. But this map is pretty different. This map really relies heavily on your flow aim, especially on the pentagon pattern.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult to hit, but here we go. Getting into map number 4 here, as we do see some very early misses coming out from HCL. I believe the first time that we've seen them in for this match, so potentially just some early nerves, which I do hope that they're able to get rid of, as it's going to give a pretty decent score lead towards the way of Illinois, but gonna be Lechuga trading on a massive chain miss, and DVD the first gonna also be trading HCL. So this is actually swinging the score back over towards Stateless. Yeah, no player hits it.
No,
Zero.
DVD
Oh,
hits it.
DVD the first hits it.
But they did miss earlier, so now there's just really no combo whatsoever. So it's even thanks to that pentagon. Now it's just kind of like sleepy. And the map is just kind of like toned down after that.
Yeah, it's gonna be One player hitting the pattern, not going to be a full combo, and definitely not going to be the recovery just yet here for Lichuga, as going to be finding some more misses, some very unfortunate chain misses, is getting a pretty sizable score lead towards the way of Stateless, but we're in the first PI now, where the map kind of has these difficult patterns in the jumps that these players have to be able to hit, and it's going to be Lily first to fall on some of these accelerating patterns, so that is going to put a stop to the score lead. In fact, it's going to start swinging it back over towards Illinois, so this is a very contested pick so far.
Yeah, and I believe that the map would get a little bit harder near towards the end. So, but right now the middle is like kind of a nothing burger at the moment. So it's really important to FC through this middle part. So Lily missing won't really help Stateless much. So that score difference going towards Illinois. We're going to the break at the moment, and we'll shortly see the second PI.
Yeah, score flips back over towards the side of Illinois for the time being, and as you said, it's the calm before the storm. But we're not going to be seeing any more big Pentagon patterns or whatever difficult diff spikes that there are left in this map. The rest is going to be mostly consistency here, I feel like. So if Illinois is going to be able to hold on to their combos, then that'll make them another breakpoint in this match. And yeah, Hazel going to be dropping first of all on that recovery now. So going into this PI, going to need to see some trades coming here soon for Illinois, or else this is going to get really dicey really fast.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that those really hard flow patterns were at the beginning. But they just stick Lichuga. Nothing is that you want to see from Illinois. There's Lily and Lex are still FCing through this really easy part if we come back to the first part. So now the fourth, we're approaching the fourth last part of the map, and it's just going to be on towards Stateless side soon.
Yeah, definitely gonna start shifting heavily towards Stateless with these two combos, but it's gonna be Hazel and Idiot Stick finding the trade, so that's still negating a bit of the score shift, but DVD the first can't do it alone here for the time being, and we get into the start patterns. Hazel gonna be dropping combos, so that's gonna keep Illinois in the lead for the time being, and still finding new chain misses is not helping Stateless as we're climbing into the final section of the map, but the score finally ends up shifting towards the way of Stateless, and this is going to be a point for Stateless. No, it's not! Wait a minute! Lily misses on the final note before the final slow section, and this is actually going to be a point for Illinois. You cannot write this in the script. I swear to God, this is just what is happening. Illinois gets a break point again.
That matters so much. Oh my God. A break point of the decade, maybe, of the match, honestly. Oh my God. Once Stateless see the VOD, they're gonna hurt themselves with that. Jesus.
I mean, it's very unfortunate. You really do hate to see it, whether or not you support Stateless. Seeing a miss like that is like so painful, and it hurts to see that. But it's just the way it goes sometimes. And yeah, unfortunately for Stateless, what looked like was going to be, albeit a very close point, ends up being a point for the way of Illinois. So 3-1, and now we're back in the situation where Stateless need to get another breakpoint back from an Illinois pick here.
Yeah, it looked like it was in Stateless's hands, but it felt like divine intervention. Just wanted Illinois to get that breakpoint of hidden 3. Now Illinois, their opportunity to go up ahead 3 points, and they have chosen the Nomad 5.
Yeah, we're going tapping this time. This week's Nomad 5 is different from last week's, whereas last week's was precision. This one is actual proper speed. So gonna be kind of a bit of a shift here in terms of style of map from what we've been seeing for the previous ones. ET2, I guess, would be the closest to this, but not quite. This is just raw shred.
Yeah, this is raw shred, just like the DT3, which hasn't been picked yet. But yeah, this one, 230 BPM. We've seen Stateless struggle with that DT2, but I believe that DT2 was just a matter of finger control nerves or even like stamina, as you had to do the doubles and then those like linear jumps as well. So it can throw people off if you're not really used to like ulting and stuff. But this one is just like pure shred, a little bit more different on that DT2. So maybe Stateless could have a better chance on this map. But right now, Illinois, I think they're confident on this.
You're seeing another new face here for these teams. These are going to be stepping in here for the first time for Illinois. We do see a return from 7 Chibi, also known as LeBrooklyn James, but we're just going to call them Chibi because they're Chibi.
Yeah, they're chibi
It
indeed.
feels so wrong calling them anything but that.
Yeah, and they have indeed been improving their tapping as of late. I believe they can play the tapping in this SR as well. Venompuff being their main tapping player, also Lily being one of their fills for the tapping. But right now, Illinois, they have those three tapping rosters that one of the strongest even in this tournament. So I believe that this could be a really strong pick for Illinois.
Yeah, definitely a scary one here. If Stateless is able to get the breakpoint right back, then again, we're going to be in another situation where they get a chance to consolidate on that and play things up. But if Illinois gets this, they only need 2 more points to win. So this one really matters all that much more for Stateless to get this one.
Yeah, and even though there are some like shred parts here, you can see maybe some slider breaks as well, as there are some bursts to the slider. So if you see players that don't finish their burst, maybe like run out of stamina, or maybe just to focus on like the next pattern, then yeah, we could see some slider breaks coming in.
Definitely chances for slider breaks, but first miss is not going to be a slider break. It's actually just going to be a slight over-aim on the stream, which they're going to be the first to fall, so that's going to be putting a damper on this score lead that Illinois has for themselves now. As we get into the first KI section, score does flip over towards Stateless, and they're still looking pretty good, slightly down on the accuracy side, but that miss from Lechuga is everything for Stateless here.
Yeah, and right now there's really no like hard part in the middle. It's just really the first KI and that last KI that really matters a lot. So the trigger missing there isn't going to help out Illinois. And so far so good for the Stateless, still holding on their 3 FCs with the Illinois 2 FCs. And now we can see the break.
They're going to see, and it's still a three-way FC for Stateless, and I can either add to the nerves or help to lock in, but really, the Stateless team kind of needs to hold on to their combo for as long as they possibly can, because any trades are good for Stateless with the score lead, 90,000 points. If there is a trade that comes about here in the final half of the map, then that will only benefit Stateless, but again, accuracy is still in favor of Illinois, only ever so slightly, so anything could happen if any misses end up happening, but that's one of the longest streams. Does get traded by Flamingo and 7Chibi, so it's still, again, going to be helping out Stateless more than it helps out Illinois, as Lechuga drops on the recovery, and now it's just Candy Sour left alone, not able to do anything versus Lily and Venompuff's going to need to see more misses on the side of Stateless if Illinois wants back into this, but it's still 200,000 points now.
Yeah, and those 2 FCs are just still FCing through this last KI, and if you want Illinois to get this point, you would need to see a break from Lily and Venompuff. They don't seem to be breaking whatsoever, as there's really no more of those bursts coming in left, those hard bursts that really matters the most. And right now, we're seeing Lily and Venompuff closing out this Nomad 5, another break point for Stateless.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what do you even say about that? 3 S ranks. It's the slider break from Chibi. The S rank on Candy Sour is the full combo. But I mean, still that Illinois score 2 million is kind of crazy for a team score on this pick, and they still didn't get the point. So I mean, for Stateless to get that break point, this a 4th break point in this match, mind you.
Yeah.
That is everything for them, as we already get the next pick here.
This is the BT3.
Yeah, right back into tapping, feeling really good on tapping, as we just saw.
Yeah, and I think those misses coming in from Illinois in Nomad 5, I think they were pretty unlucky in my opinion. So I think they can still perform well in this BT3, as this is a really similar map to the Nomad 5, but just less sliders. So this one is just pure 210 shred, and we can maybe potentially see people lose stamina near the end.
Definitely is a bit of a stamina check here. Gonna need to be comfortable at some of these longer bursts. It's also one of the longer DPs in the pool, I believe.
Yes,
but this one's pretty short, all things considered. So, and also AR 10.3. If I'm not mistaken.
No, this is AR.
Or am I reading that wrong?
AR
That's AR 8. Okay.
Yeah, AR 8. Yeah.
Yeah. Never mind. you imagine 10.3 on this?
Yeah, imagine. I mean, it could happen. It could happen.
Oh my
With this spelling
goodness.
team, it could happen. But right now, this one, 210, even though it is lower BPM of Nomad 5, the OD is higher. So your technique matters a lot here to conserve your stamina, and especially to help out with your nerves. So we're seeing the same similar rosters for Stateless of Lily, Venompuff, and Brooklyn James or Chibi, and Illinois getting Flamenco, Candy Sour, and Lechuga. So yeah, the same rosters from Nomad 5 and I believe from DT2.
Yeah, this one again, Stateless has a chance to consolidate on a break point and tie things back up. Don't think they can afford to give Illinois any more break points themselves, so this one's gonna matter a lot. And yeah, hopefully we see some more performances here from the Stateless team as we are into some of the first bursts, and it's gonna be a similar look here for both these two teams. Gonna be slight accuracy favoring Illinois again here to start this one off, but plenty of room for error on either team.
Yeah, and there is this one pattern where there is like a jump section two is a bus ladder that's overlapped, which can kind of heighten your nerves if you're like want to like really focus on it, maybe even potentially getting looting. But so far so good for all these players. Maybe in a bit of an advantage there, but never mind. Flamenco with that miss coming in, so it's gonna help us Stateless a lot to get maybe even tie us up.
Yeah, what was an accuracy advantage for Illinois very quickly faded away as some of those accuracies dropped pretty low, and now going to be another combo dropping for the side of Illinois and Candy Sour, Flamenco dropping just shortly before that, and no traits on the side of Stateless, so this one's already looking like it's going to go the way of Stateless, but again, as we've already seen in this match previously, anything can happen, especially at the last minute, but if there are three players holding on to combos and Candy Sour is missing in the slowest part of the map, it's
Yeah,
not looking good
ladder.
for Illinois.
Yeah, to circle over the bus ladder, I knew that someone would miss it, and Candy Tower did indeed miss on that part, and no one from Stateless actually just getting off guard from that. And right now, they're just projected to get this three-way FC for this team, but it's not over yet. Even though it is 300k score difference, I mean, if you want Illinois to come back, you would actually need all three of these players to miss right now from Stateless. But at this point, it might already be too late with this 400k score difference.
Lechuga definitely has it in them, but they have to keep holding, and yeah, like you said, we'd have to see a full disaster here for Stateless, and they're just looking so comfortable now on this final section of the map, and Lechuga drops the last FC for Illinois, so that will be the nail in the coffin on this pick, and yes, Stateless are going to tie things up now, winning their first own pick to make this 3-3.
Here comes the stamina part here. This is the one that really affects your stamina a lot. Where do you see Flamenco missing? Where do you see Lily struggling with the act? There she goes with that, just struggling with the stamina, but 87%, but still a good high score for their team to support it. 1 million score difference with the helping FCs of Venompuff and Chibi.
Yeah, I mean, that score difference alone makes up pretty much an FC's worth of score for the side of Illinois if any of those players had FC. And yeah, just looking that much more confident on this stamina draining DT pick. Quite a bit different look here for Stateless as they're starting to get a little bit more calmed down with these picks, giving less towards Illinois. And yeah, that one above and beyond the biggest score difference that we've seen so far in this match.
Yeah, this one actually Stateless, they actually show more stamina comfortability for the DT3 and Nomad 5, so not much more speed maps left actually. They did ban at Nomad 2, so no more tapping maps realistically. And right now, Illinois, we reach equilibrium. It's all tied up. Now we can just win our own picks, right? Well, who knows? Illinois is up to them to what they pick.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, I'm just looking at the rest of the maps. Of course, there's still DT4, not going to be tapping per se, but it is
Kind of
DT pool. You do have some tapping in DT1, some tiny amount. Oh, that is banned?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, yeah, you're right. So, not going to see that. And the Nomad 2 isn't really tapping, even though that's banned. Yeah, but that one's going to be a lower BPM, so even if that was open, would not really be it for them. So, yeah, I don't know where they want to go. You have to imagine they're going to keep sticking with some of these gimmick stuff, but we are going to go into the Hard Rock 3. Yeah, this one's an absolute banger. Honestly, if anyone watching the stream hasn't played this whole map set, like, play them all, or at least look at them all. It's such a good map set.
Yeah, I would imagine this one isn't really as aimy. Like you don't need a lot of aim requirements. It's just a matter of can you act this map. So maybe this map is gonna be resulted in terms of the act. So yeah, you would need your players to act as well, as there are some like rhythm changes into the gym, not necessarily like rhythmic like polyrhythm stuff, but just rhythmic changes in terms of like the jump and patterning.
Yeah, I mean, it goes from, some 1/3 to a couple of 1/6 bursts as well. And there's a lot of varying finger control sections, but it looks like we're already getting into map number 7 here. It looks like all these players are lined up and ready here. Venom Puffs, 7 Chibi, Lexic versus Idiot Stick, Candy Sour, and Flamenco as we are going to await a bit of a panic button here to see Chibi and Flamenco on our screen. Thank you very much for that. And yeah, this one's relatively low on combo. It's a little bit long, 2 minutes 40 seconds, but the combo isn't really that much. And already seeing misses here on the side of Illinois, 2 of them in fact. Flamenco and Candy Sour are going to be dropping. Finally gets traded out by 7 Chibi, but those are the only misses so far, and that's 2 FCs to 1 this early on.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing right now that Flamenco is matching the act of Lexic, but unfortunately Flamenco not matching the combo of Lexic. So Lexic's combo, you need Stateless to keep up this combo to really counter the combos of Illinois. Right now, Candy Sour did miss. Not really going to help out Illinois whatsoever for that, as we do see Lexic, Venom Puff getting those FCs coming through, even though Venom Puff with that poor act, including Chibi, but it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, and I mean, thankfully for Illinois, Candy Sour missing isn't the end of the world because they were already one of the players that had dropped their combo. So it's not going to matter too much in terms of their overall score. But yeah, definitely looking pretty solid here so far as we get into the second section of this map. The first pause, where players are going to see that it's 150,000 points here separating these two teams, and this is one of the first of a couple of pauses in this map, and a lot of slow build up here into the next section where a lot of these combos I imagine might fall.
Yeah, back advantage are already going towards Stateless at the moment as we're reaching that 200k score difference. Getting this last break, I believe, as the second last map, second half of the map, sorry, is really similar to the first half. Nothing really changes. So it's just a matter of can you repeat the performance you have done on the first half?
A little bit more finger control in this section. There are some more bursts in there. A lot more starts and stops to this one, as here's the jump pattern. All players going to be hitting it, as well as the triples, so that's still only going to be benefiting Stateless. But if Illinois wants a way back into this, we're going to need to see breaks soon. And there's one. It's on the missed combo from earlier on 7 Chibi, so not going to be the player that you would ideally want to see breaking. And yeah, I think it's pretty much safe to say, despite it only be 300,000 points, I'm very confident saying that this is a point for Stateless with like nothing left in the map, pretty much.
Yeah, I can also say that as well, as there's not going to be much map left to really counter this, because I don't think Lexic and Venom Puff would like miss the remaining parts of the map. And yeah, a breakpoint actually, and a breakpoint towards Stateless to actually now be in the lead.
For the first time.
Yeah, for the first time too.
Stateless getting the 5th breakpoint of this match to make things 4-3, and now Illinois is the team on the back foot. Gonna have to get this breakpoint back, preferably on this next pick, or else Stateless gets to match point. And yeah, what was looking to be a very rough start from Stateless turned around pretty quickly, and they are definitely feeling themselves looking a lot more confident now on some of these picks. So for Illinois, it's a bit of a scary situation. You're kind of at Stateless's will as to where they want to go next, but it's definitely not over for Illinois by any means.
Yeah, I wouldn't really imagine a Hard Rock 1 pick, as that one is like, it's pretty, I guess, kind of middle and like easy towards like the aim, as like there's really no like hard aims in that, kind of mech techy as well, like, kind of. So it's all about your consistency on our Hard Rock, so not really something that I don't think Illinois would pick, and maybe even Stateless too. I mean, if Stateless pick it, then sure, I think that would be, they rely on their own consistency, maybe even a little bit better than Illinois. But you know, you have to also capitalize on your own pick as well. So hopefully they do.
Yeah, I mean, they really can go a lot of different directions here. I would like to see the DT4 get picked, and that is where they're gonna go. So it's gonna be the final DT left remaining now. And Stateless, we've already seen what they can do on some more mechanically challenging DT maps. It's definitely scary thinking what they could do on this one here in the DT4, but Illinois was able to get the very first breakpoint, the very first point of this match off of, or well, I guess the second point of this match, the first breakpoint of the match off of Stateless's DT2 pick earlier. So we'll see if they're going to be able to do a similar showing here. Definitely capable of that.
Yeah, this one more finger control, so not really the shred, the stamina that Stateless is really good at that we've seen so far in this match. So this one, it could be closer than we would expect. We're seeing the same tapping rusters from those previous tapping maps coming in from Illinois. This maybe includes Stateless, but right now, yeah, Lily, yeah, this is the same tapping roster.
Yep, I'm gonna be tried and true DT players here for these two teams, despite the mechanical barrier for entry to play this map being a little bit lower than some of the other DTs. It's still gonna be the players most confident at this type of map, and this one's a little bit higher AR than the last one that we saw.
Yeah, I think they are 9.8, 9.9.
Just slightly higher, not really gonna come into play. And also lower OD, so more room for finger locking. Actually, it's an OD 9.6, so that is kind of significant, especially on a map like this where there are so much finger control. And this is also, I believe, the shortest map in the pool by far. It's a minute 13 after double time.
Yeah, so a lot of those smaller, bigger combos would matter a lot here, especially later on. Early on, not so much, but later on, definitely. So right now we're going in to see them hitting these finger control parts right now. Now it's going into the hard parts at the moment.
Yeah, all players holding on to combo so far, but this is where the map starts to take off with wider angle jumps here, a bit more of the finger control required, and it's going to be accuracy drops for Lily on the side of Stateless, so that is going to give it slight score advantage to Illinois for the time being. And still no misses on either side, but still going to be a very close one here as we're pretty much halfway through the map already. And these players all see, everybody is seeing the score actually shifted over towards Stateless right before that break, so that is going to give Illinois a little bit of run for their money, and they're going to have to lock in here, hope for some misses coming through from Stateless, but still no players going to be missing just yet. As finally down goes Candy Sour, first one to drop, no trades on the side of Stateless, and that's going to be a huge score shift even further in favor of Stateless now, as the map's coming to a close, a quarter of the way left, and you're gonna need to see a huge drop here from Stateless, but it's just not happening.
Yeah, and actually, the hardest pattern being that really hard flow pattern that we just saw, and that everyone in Stateless actually hit, including Flamenco and Lechuga. Lechuga actually finally missing there, but now gonna help out Illinois, and there goes Stateless getting their own point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough situation now for Illinois. What some players might have imagined being the other way around, with Illinois having the potential to get to their match point a lot sooner than Stateless it was, but now Stateless at match point. Of course, it was their own pick. Good on them to consolidate on that. And also 3.1 million team score, another over 3 million team score map here for Stateless. Probably going to be one of the higher scores on this map. I think that we will see this weekend, as they just looked so confident with the three-way FC, despite the act drops, despite anything, despite being down, what was it, 1-3 versus Illinois at the start of this match. They have clawed it back all the way to match point. So for Illinois, every map from here on forward is a must-win in order to stay in the winner's bracket.
And Illinois, they have opted to pick free mod 1. This one isn't really your typical free mod 1. There is some reading, especially if you're in hard rock. So low CS, I think CS3. So the hard rock will have a good time aiming, but this is just all of the matter of reading.
Yeah, and I mean, this one is gonna be out of all the remaining maps left in the pool, the next shortest map to that DT4. The other one in between these two would have been DT2, but as we've already seen that. So this one is going to come in at just under 2 minutes, 1 minute 59. But luckily, easy is going to be 2.6, and maybe unluckily for this Illinois team, I could definitely see one of these stateless players going easy. This is a little bit concerning because 2.6 multiplier. The map is hard. Do not get me wrong. The map is really hard, especially with easy. But 2.6 multiplier is so much higher than what would normally be like a 2x multiplier. That's easily enough for one person to solo carry.
Yeah, but it looks like we're not considered easy as Bonflow, their easy player for Stateless, isn't in for this. So there are also doubles, also like double streams as well. I don't know if you would consider streams, like it's like kind of aim control in the mix. But yeah, the doubles, you will have to keep an eye on those, because those will be the kicker of this map to determine who really wins this point.
Yes, this is match point here once again for Stateless, so Illinois has to win this, and I don't see any easies on the side of Stateless. It looks like it's going to be overmodding here for Illinois, as Lechuga's going to have to be on either Hard Rock or Flashlight for their team, since there were already 2 hiddens, an Idiot Sick and DVD the first, and yeah, it's going to be the Hard Rock. Not going to see Flashlight, especially on a map like this, and Lexic going to be the first to fall on the hidden for Stateless. Not choosing to overmod to match these overmods on Illinois, and he's going to be trading that one out shortly after. It's going to be, for the time being, a score lead for Illinois, but not much longer.
Yeah, there we go. Sees the doubles, and Lechuga missing on those doubles. And 80th second DVD opting out to overmod with the hidden. It's understandable. They are hidden players, you know, hidden preference players. So, but in Stateless, opting to put Venom Puff into the Nomad, and Venom Puff being really consistent on the Nomad, especially in their Nomad roster, is really important for this. They get to consolidate this point and maybe even this match.
Oh no! That's a double break on the side of Illinois. Make that a triple break. It does get traded out by one player on the side of Stateless, but only one player is not going to be enough here. Illinois, unfortunately, losing all of the remaining combos. Every FC gone on Illinois, and now it's going to be Lexic on the recovery and Venom Puffs on the full combo, looking to run away with this and pretty much just close this one out. Only a quarter or half of the map remaining, and yeah, these combos have to fall for Stateless, or else this is it for Illinois in the winners bracket.
Yeah, they would have to really drop these combos right now, Lexic and Venom Puff, but it doesn't seem like they're going to drop it as this match is going towards the last 4th of the map, and we don't see any combos whatsoever to really combat these combos coming in for Lexic and Venom Puff, and I think it's already over. We're not seeing any misses.
Oh yeah, 550,000 is at this point, right? It's going to keep climbing so long as these combos go, but yeah, that is much too big of a score difference for Illinois to claw back. Bar a complete disaster for Stateless, it still would not be enough. So this is going to be Stateless moving forward here. Seed number 2 moving on in the winners bracket. I would have to check who they play.
They're playing against
next.
It's Texas or Florida, so seed 3 or 6.
Yep. So Illinois making it around to 16, or excuse me, this is quarterfinals, not round of 16. Yeah, because the don't look at the overlay. The overlay's a little goofy. We're in quarterfinals, and Illinois making it to quarterfinals, even at seed 10, it's very impressive enough. And honestly, it gave Stateless a pretty good run for their money. I think a lot of Stateless fans were sweating at the beginning of this match.
Yeah, at the beginning they were sweating. It felt like divine intervention on that hidden 3.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately for Illinois, not going to be moving forward in this winners bracket, and that's going to do it for us as well. There are a couple more matches here later tonight, starting with 2 matches at 3 UTC. That's going to be on the A stream, Connecticut A versus Washington A, and on the B stream, North California C versus Connecticut B. And then a couple more matches after that. For UTC, we have New York B versus Massachusetts C on the C stream, and on the A stream at 5 UTC is going to be South California B versus Washington B. So plenty of more matches starting tomorrow as well, but that's going to be the rest of the matches tonight. Valine, you have any closing words for us?
Not really. I mean, Stateless, I am still a little bit worried about their consistency, especially with their next matchup likely being Texas. A really scary team, but for now, congratulations to Stateless, and I think that's it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Twisty, thank you for the stream. Feline, thank you for joining me. And
Yep, no
yeah,
problem.
just come back around here starting at 3 UTC. We've got a double header here. A couple more matches tonight.
Have a good night.